Brendan, you must be so, I don't know, what, relieved, excited, or still frustrated with the lockdowns ending and London and the UK starting to open up?
It's still a bit frustrating. You know, we've been opening up for a bit now. We've been allowed to sit outside pubs for the past few weeks, but unfortunately, the weather here is currently atrocious. It's raining and hailing and wind all day long, so not many people are sitting outside pubs. We're going to open up more on Monday. We're going to be allowed to go inside pubs. We're going to be allowed to stay at other people's houses. So there's going to be an opening up on Monday, but it is very slow, especially considering the extraordinary success of our vaccine rollout. 35 million people in this country have been vaccinated, an extraordinary number. All old people virtually have been vaccinated, and they were the ones most likely to get seriously ill from this disease. So it's time for us to relax a bit, open a bit more quickly, and re-embrace the freedoms that we lost over the past year.
I'd like to do one of these crosses with you where you're sitting with some mates at a pub, mind you, at about 8 o'clock in the morning. That might not be the go. Let's just get back onto the vaccine, though, because you are right. The rollout has been extraordinary in the UK. Is this a benefit of, I'm a small government sort of private enterprise guy, but this might be the national health system, a real strength of it, being able to manage something like this. And also confirm for us, most of these people would be with the AstraZeneca vaccine, wouldn't they?
That's right. So most people have had the AstraZeneca. I've had my first shot of AstraZeneca. I'm waiting for my second one in a few weeks' time. So AstraZeneca is the most common vaccine here in the UK. We also have Pfizer and the other ones as well. Under 40s are being offered an alternative to AstraZeneca to be on the super safe side. But yeah, the rollout has been down to the National Health Service has played an extraordinary role in facilitating it. I mean, it really is a military operation. It's quite staggering. Tens and tens of thousands of people are being vaccinated every single day. It's also, it has to be said, it's down to the fact that we voted for Brexit. I mean, if you compare Brexit Britain to the European Union, in the European Union, they got off to an incredibly bad start with their vaccine rollout. They're still lagging behind because there is so much bureaucracy, because everything is so centralized, and because they have to all wait on each other before they can start their program. So one of the benefits of being an independent nation that can make decisions for itself is that in a crisis like this, you can run ahead with the vaccine rollout in a way that saves significant numbers of lives.
Yes, spot on and well said. There are some lessons here for Australia because we've been pretty slow on the vaccination. We don't have the urgency because we have no COVID. But it means there's a big focus on the blood clotting and concerns about AstraZeneca. The experience, the numbers in the UK suggest even if you're below 50, forget it. Line up, get AstraZeneca, right?
Yeah, the risk is incredibly low. And of course, the risks from catching COVID-19 and having complications or getting ill are far higher than any risk from the vaccine. So it's a very low risk of complications. I had side effects from AstraZeneca. Lots of people do. I felt slightly flu-y for a day, but that's perfectly normal. That's what people are expecting. And the benefit of being part of this national effort to get everyone protected against COVID-19, that's really worth taking part in, I think, because that means we can go back to normal, we can get our freedoms back, we can reopen the world. So the more that we struggle together against this virus, the better.
Now, we haven't got much time left, but I'd love to get your quick thoughts on French President Emmanuel Macron joining in the history wars, the culture wars, if you like, because he dares to still praise Napoleon.
Oh, it's such a typical story of our times. You know, of course, Napoleon is a divisive figure in France. Some people see him as the great founder of modern French institutions. Other people see him as an awful emperor who brought back slavery and did other things that went against the French Revolution. You know, he's a complicated historical figure. But I actually think Macron struck the right balance here. He said, look, I'm not celebrating him, but I'm commemorating him because he was incredibly important in French history. We have to approach historical figures with a more of an open mind. And I don't like the way we condemn everyone in history if they did something bad, tear down their statues, erase their names. That's not a serious way to approach history. We have to grow up and realize that history is pretty complicated.
Yeah, and not just a giant in French history, just a leading figure in European and therefore world history. You can't take that away. You can't pretend that away from him. Fascinating stuff. Thanks for joining us again, Brendan. Hope you have a good weekend.